Resident Evil 2 is a game that perfectly shows what happens when the kids in chemistry class fucked around and found out. In doing so, they cause an entire city to go dark and force some new kid on the block to clean it all up. In this exciting adventure, we follow the legendary video game protagonist named John Leon Kennedy on his journey to visit Racoon City, a city that in its name is infested with raccoons just like New York is infested with rats. But in doing so, he discovers that the dead walk among us, and it's now up to him to put a stop to this mess and save the city. This involves going to a police station only to find that every fucker inside is dead and has succumbed to the Goonies virus. We also meet several hot babes, none of which I'll end up going out with. Sounds normal if you ask me. And meeting some extremely quirked up bros, such as the basic bitch, your therapist, a literal pedophile, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and of course, my dad. This is a game that is filled with puzzles and traps that will test your mind and your balls, as well as many thrills and jump scares that even scare this 21-year-old white male. So sit back and grab a snack, as it's time to journey to one of gaming's biggest franchises there is, to truly find out if it's as good as people say it is. If it isn't, then I'm gonna have to call up Capcom and tell them why it sucks dick. This is Resident Evil 2. The intro portion of this video is going to be fairly short, as there isn't too much to explain from both a story and gameplay standpoint. But since I've just mentioned the story, and you know how these videos go, it's only fair that we get into the lore segment of this video. Yeah, so Leon Kennedy, definitely not related to the Kennedy, was on his way to Racoon City to start his new job as a defunded police officer. When he stops to get some gas at his local Chevron with Techron, he hears a bit of a sus noise coming from the back rooms, and after searching the gas station, he finds out that, oh shit, we got some zombies up in this bitch. After escaping to find Smash Material base model, we escape into Racoon City only to get anal slammed by a gas truck moments later. Yeah, he definitely didn't get bitten while hitting a drunk one with his truck. Nope, that didn't happen. Regardless, we escape to the Racoon City police station and get our bearings, as it's our job to find someone who knows something about this outbreak. Okay. I think we're good now. Gameplay-wise, Resi 2 doesn't have too much going on, as it's a fairly simple third-person over-the-shoulder shooter, with a fairly decent array of guns and utility to use. This game heavily relies on exploration, as you'll need to scavenge for items to fight back against the undead, items to help solve puzzles, or items to craft new items. For example, you can craft ammo by combining gunpowder together. There are different variants of gunpowder for both shotgun, handguns, and mags, and the larger the gunpowder is, the more ammo you'll receive. Gathering herbs is also useful too, as you're basically gonna huff and puff some grass to heal yourself. I didn't know that Leon dabbled in the arts of fucking weed, but I guess it's true. I guess that explains where the name Hufflepuff came from. And just like gunpowder, combining different herbs together can heal you for larger amounts, and give you reduced damage and even beneficial effects like resistances to poison for a short period of time. However, all of this exploration and looting is limited by your inventory space, which starts very small at only 6 to 8 slots. And to upgrade it, you're gonna need to find hit pouches, which will give you an extra 2 inventory slots per pouch. And you can start to see how this game emphasizes exploration with the inventory system. You're going to want to find more stuff, sure, but you're going to need more inventory space to do that. So you're going to have to explore to find more hit pouches, get more space to loot more. Otherwise, you're going to end up dropping off your items inside a storage chest constantly that is sitting near the magical saving typewriter. Also note that your weapons can have attachments, which can make them take up to 2 slots in your bags. The shotgun, the handgun, and later the flamethrower will all take 2 slots in your bags near the end of the game, meaning that inventory management is extremely crucial, which is pain because I suck at it. In addition to your guns, you're also going to have a knife that has some durability on it, because let's be honest, Capcom probably saw what Zelda was doing with its weapon durability and decided, hey, let's just rip that. You'll also have access to hand grenades and flashbangs. To use them, you'll need to press the spacebar and cycle between them like you would with your normal weapons. Their throwing range is a little hard to judge, and yes, I've accidentally flashbanged myself once. At least I can still hold that for a pair of bongos, am I right, boys? And with this game's puzzles, you'll find yourself running back and forth to places you've been before, just to open a door to get an item to use on the other side of the map. And that's the beauty of games like this. It makes every part of the map feel relevant at all times, no matter if you're going back to it 3 hours later just to get one item. Otherwise, that pretty much covers the general gist of the gameplay of Resident Evil 2. I would touch on our zombie friends, but this time I want to save them for the main part of the video. They're all so simple that it doesn't really feel like it's worth talking about them here. Yes, what I'm basically saying is they're basic bitches. Now it's time for me to not shut the fuck up for the next 20 minutes as we resume our journey now at the gates of the Racoon City police station. Is this going to go badly? Yes, it's probably going to. Can I get a yikes? But at least if it does go badly, I'll get fired for not figuring out and get to go back to playing Honey Pop. Can I get a hell yes? Welcome to this shithole, complete with rain because of course God is crying on how bad this is. Upon breaking and entering and realizing that no one is home, we check this computer to see this guy running from a zombie, and our immediate pulse is to find where that guy is and save him without having any knowledge of this building at all. Fortunately, there just so happens to be this thing called a fucking map, and now as our first day on the job, we gotta save this dude's life. After rounding a nearby corner to see the average college party, we find our man near this door. We try to let him in, but I guess the zombie got very hungry. So now, with the most disgusting part of the video out of the way, we steal his notebook complete with some e-girl drawings, and return to the library to meet another guy who, you guessed it, is also dying. Marvin is willing to help us escape the station, and explains that there's a secret passageway here in the lobby, but we're gonna have to find the medallions to open the door, which requires searching the main part of the stations to find them. So with Marvin clearly on his fucking deathbed, we solve the first of the 3 medallion puzzles, and prepare to enter what can only be described as my new personal hell. Upon finding this guy showing his undead pogger's face, I found the military version of the bleachers locker room, complete with several important doors that I can't open, thanks to this really cool thing called Fuck You Leon. I also went to unlock my desk, which was way harder than you'd think for a fucking classroom desk. I felt like I was going through the trolley problem trying to figure this one out. Eventually, after running up several flights of stairs, we find the blue key, allowing us to once again continue to find the Blue Man Group's hideout. We discovered that we gotta blow some shit up, but as is expected, we gotta find the pieces to do that. Marvin tells us to come back to the lobby for something important. It better be a woman, otherwise I'm gonna be real sad. Proceeding to make haste through the Minecraft library, we learn that Claire is also in the station with us. So now, it's time to rekindle our relationship with our first wife. But not after seeing a helicopter casually fly into the building at roughly 88 miles an hour. Our couple does a little bit of flirting before the helicopter explodes and sounds the alarm, alerting the horde to come and munch on my ass cheeks. Marvin then goes dark, so we're on our own now. And with this, we travel back to the weapons locker room to acquire some much needed assets, mostly being a fucking 12 gauge. I'ma kill all the furries and femboys with this one. Regardless, some much needed exploring and killing of zombies later, we return to the C4 and plant another square on it. I proceed to flashbang myself, which was from a woman, and then I went back to the library to expel my anger. Finally turning off this vape mist over an hour and a half in, we get our first glimpse of fucking Spider-Man himself. On second thought, he looks more like Venom if he wasn't black. And after trying to access the station's catalog of my opinions on the internet, we put a battery into that detonator and blow up the wall. And what did we acquire from doing this? A metal disc. Yep. But with all 3 discs in hand, we can finally open the secret passageway and leave this place. Marvin then decides to pull a gun on me when I ask him if he wants to come with us, so now we leave him alone to die here. We'll come back to forcefully end his suffering later, but for now it's time to head into the police station's very own personalized sex dungeon. Making haste down into the depths of what is probably going to be my downfall, we meet a new friend named, I don't know, fucking Ed Sheeran. And he's gonna show you the harsh realities of the hood with his arm ripped straight from Left 4 Speed 2's very own Charger Jerking the Ween edition. And in this special edition of fighting this fucker for just one of his 3 appearances, you have to run him around the maze and shoot the very noticeable pimple on his arm. So we decided to deal with him by telling him that he was a bit gay, and he decided to dip. Shortly after reaching our save point, we resurface inside the station's parking garage to find that 1, it's devoid of human life, and 2, the dogs from COD Zombies just rolled up to curb stomp me. Suddenly, our second wife and the one I'd smash first shows up on the scene. And naturally, because Leon got a bit of a bulge in his pants, he decided that he wanted to maintain it by following Ada. After finding the local Chinese dog factory and swiftly sniffing the entirety of the morgue, we return to the parking lot to put a long chode on our pistol. But eventually, we arrive at a jail cell to meet Elliot, who knows a way out of the station. For real this time. So he tells us to help him out of here and he'll help us. But after telling him no, some big fist decides to crush his face in on the spot. Good job on not listening, Leon. Ada does some exposition on Leon, and now we gotta find the power panel parts to open the cell to steal his keycard to leave the station. We proceed to start a generator that then causes every dog within a 12-mile radius to want to bite my dick off. I'm sorry, doggos, but I kinda need that to do some important tasks. So after quelling the dog population and sending them to the Shadowlands, we now head upstairs to the station once more to acquire these parts. We dispatched Marvin, so can I get an 07 from Marvin? I smashed a collectible figure of sorts before acquiring a large gear, and then failed to understand the art of fucking jump, Leon. I put out the fires of the Crustacean Nation before having Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson come at me in his full 1930s prehistoric cosplay. And last I checked, I don't want him to go down on me, so I'm just gonna run away like a little bitch and call it a day. I opened a safe to find a spare key that I will never use, and afterwards, guess what? He's still following me. I also found a box that, guess what? I'm never gonna use either. I rudely got thrown down some stairs and found a jack handle to use in the Minecraft library, and finally got to go upstairs to the 3rd floor. It's here that we get the clock tower working properly. properly, and get the final piece of the power system that we needed. So we make haste back to the jail cell, but not before getting cock-blocked by some more dogs who want to fetch my soul for their master. Now, however, we gotta escape this jail cell before we get destroyed by the cast of the Bible. And after taking several deaths not realizing how to solve it, we nearly die at the hands of Dwayne, only for Hot Babe to come and save us with a truck. But thank God, we're finally leaving the station. Better hope there's some alcohol outside of this, otherwise I'm gonna scream. I'll just call Rainy, she'll surely figure it out. Welcome to the quickest and quietest walk through Racoon City that the game is going to offer you. It's also raining, by the way, so hope you like being wet. We head into the gun store that's also a kendo club and get a 12 gauge aimed straight to the back. We also see his daughter, who is on the verge of turning, and have a pretty sad moment where Leon realizes just how bad this outbreak has gotten. So this guy puts his daughter down, Leon says the right thing, and joins Ada on her quest to find who caused this outbreak. On the way down to Umbrella's lab, Ada gives us the rundown of what she knows, which basically details a woman by the name of Annette Birkin. She's the one who helped create the G-Virus at the Umbrella Corporation that has now taken Racoon City over by storm. They plan to sell the virus off to the highest bidder and run the risk of destroying the world with it. So we head into the sewers of Manhattan, get a corporate America joke, and then witness—
Ugh. You sure this is the right way?
Unfortunately.
Wait there.
I got 7 max about 8, 30 minutes, 9, 10 max, 7 to 6 over there. You can't touch my riches. Even if you had empty hammer and the 357.
fucking lizard folk. Welcome to the runaway section of the video where you have to run away and dodge shit like this is the dinosaur from Super Mario Odyssey. My man Leon just graduated from the Prometheus school of running away from things and is using those skills immediately. I'm not sure what happens if you let him eat you, but I can assure you there is definitely not a party going on in his stomach. So I'm just gonna blow him up real fast and end it.
Chew on that. You overgrown son of a bitch.
Shortly after dispatching the lizard folk, we find Annette looking over a body and being like, yeah, it ain't quite right yet. So she does a bit of arson, and Leon takes a bullet like the Chad that he is. Thus, we get thrown into Ada gameplay. Let's fucking go! Look at that drip, though. My god, she's hot. Equipped with a pistol and a hacking tool to do some Matrix-level shit, we slowly begin making our way through the facility aiming to find Annette. After doing a little bit of running away from Mr.X, it took this long for me to know his name, okay, shut up. We then have a race against the clock to break out of an incinerator, because I guess Annette was really wanting some fried babe meat to go with her dinner tonight. I'm sad to say it, she's not getting that. Next cutscene, we fall and get stuck with a knife in our leg. Cool. It's now back to Leon as we gotta catch up with Ada to save her. I blow this fucker's face up with my explosive fist, experience tentacle porn in the sewers of Japan, and get to do the best puzzle known to man, Power Panels Chess Edition. It's our job to get 6 different chess pieces and place them in a specific order to open this door. This part takes quite a while, so I'm just gonna do a montage of this to speed it up.
Surprise, motherfucker! Nobody likes you!
There you go. I'm getting hit.
Die, bitch! What's up, bitch?
After spending a whopping 30 minutes flat on this one damn puzzle, we finally head through the door. But not before Ed Sheeran returns to administer me some fucking justice. Only this time, we're just gonna run away because Leon is a pussy. In reality, we gotta kill this fucker again. But not before I kill myself several times after getting hit by the very obvious container. Second time's a charm, surely now he's dead. Now, after what feels like a full hour, we finally find Ada and help her get the knife out of her leg. Leon uses some of his Riz, and now, our rising couple is set on continuing their journey to Nest, that being Umbrella's main lab. During the one-way cable car, we have a bit of a heart-to-heart moment, and we even get a kiss out of it. At least Leon is getting some sugar, unlike me. So now, with my balls locked and loaded from my Asian babe, we leave the rail car for our final mission inside of Umbrella's main lab. By the way, we're walking into the heart of the outbreak with no ammo and 2 health items. Yeah, we're so fucking dead. Welcome to the Umbrella Corporation's lab, home to the G-Virus, as well as many male simps that actively simp to women. So me, every day, got it. We're here to raid this shit like I'm the fucking FBI, so if you got a problem with that, then I'm gonna have to ask you to sit down. We'll need to visit both the east and west sections of the facility in order to find the samples that we came here for. And in doing so, we arrive at a plant factory of sorts, complete with enough grass that I'd never have to go outside ever again. I could just stare at this and I'd be good. Also, we got tree zombies, because that totally makes sense. After doing a bit of sign language, we walk down this hallway to find the goddamn muggers are back. And this time there's 2 of them. At once. But that's nothing my 12 gauge can't fix. We acquire the thing that makes a funny noise and enter a drug lab in which we need to pour this mixture at just the right height. This took 10 minutes. So after leaving my local Walgreens pharmacy with my paid-for prescription, we turn on the MRF and enter Wayne Lee's office to stare at his Gmail inbox. TLDR, there was some romantic and some fucked up stuff in there. We freeze this sample of jizz and pour it onto the tree life, and we're successfully put on a list made by Team Trees. Key card in hand, we're running from Dwayne again, holy shit. As we now make our way to the other side of the building, I proceed to watch a VHS tape covering how this fucker died from the G-Virus samples, and as we'll see later, this fucker is Ed Sheeran. So we get decontaminated, run through some rooms, and pick up the sample.
Alright, now back to Ada.
Well, that was easy. I'm sure this isn't going to backfire immediately whatsoever, right?
Attention, unauthorized removal of a level 4 virus detected. Facility lockdown initiated.
God fucking damn it. Oh hey, Ed Sheeran, how you doing? How's the wife and kids?
This has to end.
You're not doing a bit of pumping, are you?
Sorry, William.
Oh, so his name is William, got it, okay. We get a bit of a flashback moments later, showing how William got to be the way that he is now, after injecting himself with the virus and forcing it to spread. Really good way of saying it was him. So now, with William mutating into something that's definitely much worse, it's time to face off against him one more time. Except this time, I'm gonna show him the entirety of bitch lasagna. Welcome to what is the final destination for will.i.am. I am of course talking about Ed Sheeran and his now plethora of eyes that makes me wonder if he works for Nazoth. For the most part, this fight is very similar to the previous fights, as you'll need to shoot the pimples on William's arms and legs in order to kill him. You're gonna have loads of items to help you around the arena, like ammo, grenades, and health items, but you need to be careful, because William is quite strong and loves to throw shit at you like he's the tank from Left 4 Dead 2. He's also gonna try to claw you a lot, implying that he's a lazy fuck and doesn't want to move at all. This fight isn't exactly difficult, it's just a bit time-tasking, so take your time and you'll be fine. But with this, let's finish this piece of sludge off and no longer have to deal with him. Honestly, I hated all of his albums, so getting rid of a music artist with shit taste is a good thing. I'd much rather listen to Flying Kitty's Despacito too. Returning upstairs, we talk with Annette once more to have her tell us that we shouldn't trust Ada, and that she's a mercenary. So now we are in a conflicting issue of if we should trust Ada or not. Man, this lady's making me reconsider if I want to smash this chick or not. Thanks, Capcom. Meanwhile, at the center platform, we have a Stern talking with Ada about what just happened 60 seconds ago. And then she pulls a gun on us.
Hand over the sample.
Well, shit. And we have a pretty impactful argument.
It wouldn't end up like this.
So that's all this was. I was just some pawn to you,
Look, I'm just doing my job.
and I'm doing mine, so drop that damn gun! I'm taking you in.
Hand over the sample, Leon. I don't want to hurt you.
And you shoot me. But I don't think you can.
Oh, shit!
Well, shit.
Take care of yourself, Leon.
No!
Why is it that whenever I find the right girl, she gets snatched away from me? Every time, damn it! So, with 10 minutes until the building Michael Bay's itself, we gotta escape. It turns out that Claire is also in this place too. I couldn't have expected that, given that, you know, You can play as her too. So now we make it our plan to escape together through a train. A lot of running is going to occur over the next several minutes, so let's get that cardio in before the last boss. What, you thought that William was the last boss? Yeah, you're so wrong. We finally get to the elevator, but just when we think we're finished, Dwayne ain't done quite yet. Welcome to the final boss of Resident Evil 2, the boss that's going to show you what it's like to get pegged and hard. Much like nearly every fight in this game, there isn't anything major with this fight at all. In fact, it feels like I'm fighting William, but faster. You're mainly just trying to shoot him in the head to deal the most damage, whilst dodging his many armed attacks that he's going to do at you at lightning speeds. You're also still on the clock while this fight progresses, meaning that in a sense, you actually have to speedrun this fight. I think it's a fairly simple fight, but no one ever said that simple is bad. I would have just liked for something more, I guess, for a final boss. Regardless, a bazooka just showed up and Ada is alive, let's fucking go! Anyways, let's finish this fucker once and for all. Jesus, that's a lot of damage. Okay, so now that we have a fucking bazooka, you know that I'm gonna use it. Come on, Leon, you can make it. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on. You're almost there. Come on. Just jump a little faster, you fat fuck.
Can't believe I actually miss her.
Sounds like what I said to all my friends ever.
Leon?
Hey. We made it.
Just
Happy
like I
family reunion. Let's go. With that rather sweet ending to Leon's journey, that wraps up Resident Evil 2. From here, you have quite a few options as to how you play your post-game. You can either play through Claire's story and see her perspective as she travels through Racoon City to find her brother and regroup with Leon Kennedy. Or you can do a second run of Leon's story, which toughens up the enemies and makes ammo spawns feel less frequent. Or you can try some of the many side game modes that this game has to offer, and some of the cosmetic items available to you. Or you can return to your save file to finish getting any extras that you might have missed. But overall, what are my thoughts on Resident Evil 2? As someone who has never touched the Resident Evil series, mostly because I never enjoyed the more third-person, over-the-shoulder gameplay, I've come to really like this title. Its gameplay is very simple, yet it is presented in a way that provides depth and gives the game a unique charm. I love its exploration aspect, forcing the player to return to areas they've been to before to open new doors to find new items to continue making progress. Generally, this game isn't really large in scale, which I imagine helped Capcom really nail the little details, and they sure did. I love exploring the police station and the Umbrella Lab, as it feels like there's always something new around every corner to look forward to. My least favorite part of this game has got to be the boss fights. They just felt extremely bland, and they didn't have enough uniqueness nor character to make me classify them as bosses. They felt more like mini-bosses than anything else, with the last two fights of William and Mr.X feeling more like bosses than actual mini-bosses. I just wish that Capcom put a little more love into these fights to make them stand out and feel unique. Otherwise, I had a blast playing this game, and I'm probably going to play through Claire's story to see her perspective. And you should try this game out yourself. It's on Game Pass right now, alongside Resident Evil 3, which released earlier this year. But with that being said, I'm now going to take a bath to wipe this blood off of me, so I'ma head out. My name is PandaPowerSauce, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.